Thank you on the kind introduction. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ohira from the Kawasaki heavy industry. But and I used to work for NIDO. NIDO is kind of Japanese funding agency and the Ministry of Economic Trade and Industry. In these 3 years, I'm very close to the Japan policy making. Usually, I contribute developing the Japan hydrogen policies. And I'm very lucky to be invited this kind of conference, and I asked you all that to make the two presentation during the session. And Today I bring the Japan policy and on hydrogen, and tomorrow I will deliver the KHI and the hydrogen activities. So let me start Japan carbon dioxide emissions. This is one more reason why we promote the hydrogens. And we, Japan, try to reduce the carbon dioxide emission year by year. But they're very tough to achieve the carbon neutrality. This is a green number. This is our ambitious target for 2040. All right, and this is CO2 emission sector by sectors. Yes, and most of the CO2 emitted from the power energy transition, including power sectors. Yes, and Japan tried to expand the renewable nuclear and zero carbon electricity, but it's not enough to carbon neutrality. Because the rest of the 60% emitted from the non-power sectors had to abate sectors. Well, we need to develop some kind of measures to address the hard to abate sector decarbonization. So hydrogen play a very important role. Why hydrogen? This is a kind of image how hydrogen contribute in the future energy system. This figure drawn by IEA almost 10 years ago. Hydrogen, it's not only the fuel. Hydrogen kind of a vector to provide flexibility in the future very complicated energy systems. In the future, sort of many energy sources, like not only renewable, the fossil fuel, etc., so many type of utilization, and to connect it, each and hydrogen energy supply, energy utilization, so flexibility is quite important. So that the hydrogen provide the flexibility for the future energy systems. This is the various pathway with the hydrogen. This is another reason we promote the hydrogen. As you may understand that hydrogen can be produced with various sources, fossil fuel plus CCS and renewable electrolysis. We can produce a clean and low carbon and hydrogen. We can get a kind of diversity of energy sources. It has contributed to energy security issues. Well, hydrogen can be utilized to the various sector, power, transport, commercial, industry, etc., and hydrogen contributes to decarbonization of the sectors. That's why we promoted the hydrogen. In Japan, we have the history about the hydrogen. Our first R&D project on hydrogen was established in 1973, almost 50 years ago. And even at the past in a half century, we cannot realize the hydrogen-based society. Sometimes we are some kind of the fuel exhaust. But we must continue this kind of activities. But the past 10 years, we, Japan government, established the hydrogen policy kind of year by year. For example, 2040, and METI sets up the hydrogen fuel cell strategic roadmap. 2017, with our strong leadership of Prime Minister, Japan, the first country to develop national hydrogen strategies. We have the 2020, and our Prime Minister also declared carbon neutrality for 2050, and also many several policy measures developed to achieve the carbon neutralities. Right, this is a kind of rough roadmap toward 2050. Yes, yeah, and sort of many action items in front of us. on the hydrogen demand supply side, demand side, short term, mid term, long term. But EF 2030 is quite important for us because we, Japan, started hydrogen power generation and to develop the hydrogen demand. To meet a huge amount of the hydrogen demand, it's very difficult to cover domestic renewable hydrogen. We somehow need to start to import hydrogen also 2030s. To expand the domestic resources, we are directed to commercialize and domestic renewable hydrogen, kind of green hydrogen, also the 2030s. And we do have only 5 years. We need to accelerate all of the activities. This is our policy measures and to achieve the carbon and hydrogen-based societies. And the Meiji government support R&D, research and development demonstration for fundamental research, applied research demonstration. Also, Meiji provide financial support, direct subsidy, and subsidy for the manufacturer, subsidy for the users, etc., also tax exemption. So regulation, code and standards, also they're important to use the hydrogen and safety. Also international cooperation, those are our essentials. Because only one country cannot achieve the carbon neutrality or hydrogen-based society. We need to expand this kind of market in globally. Well, let me talk about a little bit detail of our policy. This is the financial support for hydrogen supply chains. Okay, that's a brand new policy in Japan. We started to provide a huge amount of the budget in this field. Well, the Japanese government made that call for tender for the business to provide a hydrogen business plan, hydrogen production and utilization in a totally 25 years, with 25 years and a long-term and commitment. Well, in the first 15 years, Meiji provide a subsidy for the hydrogen production using the contract for different scheme. And also, the Meiji providing a subsidy for the infrastructure, especially at the ports. Well, now in the contract for a call for tender scheme in the cross, and now under the evaluation, maybe I'm not sure when the successor is open, but a successor winner may enjoy this kind of huge amount of subsidy. This is kind of an image of the producer support scheme. We focus on the price gap between the price gap in fossil fuel and the hydrogen, and with the subsidy, we would like to reduce our price gap between the fossil fuel and the hydrogens. So as I talk those, and we are providing the 15 years in the subsidy, and also the business must continue in the 10 years after the finishing the year and the subsidies. This is the requirement. And the second, I will talk about government support for R&D and demonstration through the New Energy and Industrial Technology Development Organization, NEDOs, and that's why my previous position. And NEDO conducting the several hydrogen fuel cell projects from the hydrogen production, storage, transport, utilization from the fundamental research and applied research, etc., etc. But today I bring some kind of snapshot from the project, kind of visualization of the technologies. This is one of our update, brand new technologies, 10 megawatt alkaline electrolysis. And we already developed the alkaline electrolysis on the 5 years ago. We continue the running tests to secure the reliability of the electrolysis. This is an image for the future image of a 100 megawatt and water electrolysis system with a lining number of the 10 megawatt electrolysis as a concept in a plan to expand and scaling up the electrolysis. Well, as I mentioned, that we started to import hydrogen. The challenge is how to concentrate for long-distance transportation. I will talk later tomorrow in the morning. But Japan is the first country to success to develop the small but workhorse liquefied hydrogen tankers. We already succeeded the demonstration journey between Australia and Japan, and we tested and very, very low boil-off rate. It's kind of the 0.3 volumic % per day. When we also working for the other fuel cell application, visualization, the fuel cell application, and the left one is the material handling, and we are now demonstrating in the port of Los Angeles. And the right one and the hydrogen and ferries, maritime application. Well, this is a demo journey and demo voyage and learning at Osaka Expo. I just started this week and early in this week. So I would like you to have the visit in Osaka to enjoy fuel cell ship, fuel cell journey. So and for lastly, I will talk about the international cooperation. That I mentioned to expand in the partner is quite important. Yes, and we do have the bilateral cooperation, but most of all, we at Japan we need to join the international framework like IEA, ISIC, IPHE, etc., etc. And some of the conference and frameworks also that we invited India. And India also joined some of the frameworks. So we would like to expand in our activities through this kind of the framework. Right, and this is the end of my slide, and thank you very much for your attention.